I just feel like McG cares too much about the numbers and pleasing his followers because there's 1.6 million people that love when he does that.
And he gets more views again when he makes women uncomfortable and always gets into their sexual business.
He's saying what all of these men that think like him want to say.
Okay, yeah, that's why we're not listening and never will be the subscribers. I always feel like these fly-by-night folks on the internet always have a lot to say because what else are they going to say that's of value or of education or of something worthy for people to listen to other than them creating like shock factors that we really don't care about? So these are the consequences we're talking about. And these are the consequences that are needed. If it's not going to be done by BCCSA, it has to be done by the people who are being offended. Minnie, if you're watching this, please sit on McG's neck and make sure you get your lick back.
Welcome to an all-new episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays with me, Oluchi B.
Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays with me, Oluchi B.
Please say the B.
You better say the B. AKA the elusive pundit. Honey, how you feeling?
We're good.
She's under pressure at work and school. It's the bottleneck season, darling. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Anyway, as per our today's essay topic is titled Blame the Consumers, ? The issues with podcast and social media, and is it time the government introduces a regulatory board like the BCCSA for podcasting and social media in general? I think it would be a stretch for social media, but I do think for like long format content, the government should look at introducing something like a BCCSA. For those that don't know what a BCCSA is, it's a regulatory board for TV and radio and newspapers, basically all media outlets that disseminate information to the masses. They are regulated in terms of what they say, how they say it, or whether it's offensive, sexual. What does that BCCSA thing say?
The SABC has signed a code of conduct to...
You are going in. I was like, yes,
and I can do it again. The
information.
SABC has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa. Under the code, we are committed to giving news that is accurate, comment that's fair, and programming that is not harmful to children, does not amount to hate speech, or descriptive violence, or explicit sex. If you think we're not living up to that code, you can inform the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa.
Hello, we need shit like that for the podcasting space. I forgot he works in a radio station, you guys, so I'm sure he hears this every day he's on the job, right? Because I was like, how do you know all this information? Anyway, so we are here to talk about the fact that the podcasting space needs that. And obviously, this episode was inspired by McG and his shenanigans. And he is the biggest podcaster that we have in South Africa. Some of the biggest podcasts are, the first one, obviously number one on the list, is Podcast and Chill. That's what it's called, right? Podcast and Chill. And with McG, but he has that other guy, Saul Penduka, there, and the ghost lady who never does anything. I thought her job was to do research. We never say anything negative about the females. We love you, Ghosty. And then Wisdom and Wellness with Mpumile Dwaba also sits in the top 5 biggest podcasts in South Africa. But the Queen is like very Christian, very clean, very clinical. So she's never on the wrong side of things. And then we have Ideas That Matter with Vusi Thembekwayo. We never talk about abusers on this channel, so no. And then also our international guy, Trevor Noah, is also on the top 5 with his What Now podcast. Analam Doda is always there, as well as Sizwe. That's the only thing I know. I haven't listened to his podcast. I actually haven't listened to any of these podcasts. Which one do you listen to? Oh, None of the above. You only listen to Looks and Wisdom, right?
Exactly. It's the only one that matters.
Okay. I haven't listened to any of these podcasts. I think the only time I tried to listen to a McG podcast, I got there and then the podcast was 3 hours. I was like, what? I have a job, honey. What do you mean? I have a job. I have children and a husband. I have to take care of everybody, the strays, the family. I was like, I don't have 3 hours to listen to this. Like, literally, I don't. So we love all the podcasters, and we will forever be grateful to McG actually for being the first one to break the glass and open up this space that all of us have followed. I mean, we're still budding, but we're gonna get there. What's our dream? To be the number one podcaster in South Africa, which we're gonna get to. And I wanted to actually have because we know we love a good definition over here at Looks and Wisdom. I was like, why would I describe a podcast on a podcast? Like, if you're here, then you know what a podcast is. So I'm not going to like do a whole lot of description about what a podcast is. I want to get straight to the point why podcasts need a regulatory body. Again, this was inspired by McG, and I am going to give you guys a little bit of history around the guy. So the guy started on ETV back in 2000. T, you were not even born at that time.
I was born 3 years later.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. So McG's been on the ground. I like people who've been on the ground, actually. So I am inspired by McG, by the way. I love the work that he does outside of the topics. I think he's doing a great job. And he has his empire we're going to get to later on. So he started on ETV on Crazy E as one of the children presenters there. And obviously that lasted until 2005. And then after that, he was in Gandhi Square on a community radio station. I don't know if it was called JBCCR, but anyway, it was a community radio station in Gandhi Square. And he was there for some change. And then after that, he moved over to YFM, doing various shows, small nyana. And then the guy hit the big time. He started doing the breakfast show on a weekly basis. And then he also did the weekend show. He did the top 40 there. So he basically touched everywhere where DJ Smooth and Dineo Ranaka actually touched. And he was very popular around the time. And then his demise on YFM came in 2015? Oh my God, my notes are failing me, you guys. I don't know if it's 2010 or 20 something. I'll find the date and link it for you guys. So in that year, he was actually released, fired, let go of, let's use the correct HR terms. And the reason why he was actually fired is because someone laid a complaint to what? The BCCSA, the regulatory body for radio stations, around McG and his homophobic comments that he had made at the time, including making jokes about gay people on his show, including the producer that he was working with. His name was Junior Dikwa. And can you believe this? I was like, oh my God. He actually, do you remember that pastor guy that's on that "Oh You Gay" video, the one that comes with the Fulton badge? He actually played a clip of that guy. And you know how homophobic that guy is and how anti-gay he is. And as a person in the spectrum, do you think it was right that that person reported McG?
Absolutely.
And how do you feel about that? I know you're doing a whole topic for your, is it dissertation or what?
Yeah, my honors research long paper.
Uh-huh.
And absolutely, I feel like somebody actually did ask me a question about should I look at McG's history in the original broadcasting, the mainstream broadcasting, because he does have a history of, you know, misogyny and
homophobic.
yes, reproducing all of those narratives. So I do feel like he had to be reported and let go because it's such a huge responsibility as a broadcaster to not reproduce harmful narratives.
Exactly. And I was like, oh my God, can you believe his first job he was let go of for homophobic remarks? And again, if you look into his history, you will see that he was already problematic at the time. Allegedly.
And that's why I think this topic is very important to see how now he's navigating the podcast space because it's not as regulated as mainstream media.
It's not regulated at all. When I was doing this research, I saw around the whole Minnie situation, which we're going to get to later, the government were like, I know we need to drop this. The government, honey. And then anyway, after he was let go of in YFM, he found a new job at 94.7, and he was there for 5 years. And then he was also let go of. I did try to Google as much as I can as to the reasons why he was let go of, but they are not clear. When he is asked, he says something about budget cuts, but McG has always have a problematic history. And I remember the episode that Sizwe was on, they did speak a little bit about McG and his problematic issues, especially around his topics and making management feel uncomfortable. So as much as we don't know why he was let go of in 94.7, it might have been something all the way to the left. What do they call those people? Red or blue pill? Is it like red pill content?
Red pill
Oh,
content.
okay, yeah. And then anyway, he was let go of in June 2018 in his radio job at 94.7. And then he was worried about money. He was panicking, thinking he's gonna move to the wayside and we'll forget about him as a radio host in South Africa. And then in his panic, he came up with this bright idea of actually having a podcast on YouTube. I don't know if he was inspired by Garrett Cliff, because remember Garrett Cliff was one of the first people who was on the red pill content initially, and then everybody in public media was like, you know what, Gareth, you're doing too much. And then when he did that, he opened Cliff Central, which didn't do so well. Why do you think Cliff Central didn't do well? Do you think we were not ready for podcasts?
I think at that time, yes. Because podcasts only recently started being popular, to be honest.
Yeah, because I always was like, he was the first one to do it, but then McG was like the second person in line, and his thing was successful. And to my understanding, I don't usually subscribe to white media except for Jeannie D. He was even big to me. Like, I knew Garrett Cliff, and he was with Anele and them, and it was a big, thank God he left, because he opened up space for Anele to come in and take over. Thank you, Gareth. And so Gareth was the first one to open a podcast, independent, because he wanted to speak out of his neck and have these red pill propagandas and agendas that he wanted to push. But he didn't win that much. I did check, he's still around, still pushing his prop. But McG was the first one to really bring it home for everybody. So by June 2018, he started his podcast. I don't remember hearing anything about him until like COVID, like 2020. You too, right, T?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so he started bit by bit. I remember it became a big hoopla around 2020 when we were in COVID, because no one had anything to do. He did speak about his initial challenges of not having money to record, blah, blah, blah. But his chillers, what he calls his subscribers and fans, came out and started doing donations. So he was able to continue. And in his continuation, he actually did hit the big lotto. So when he hit the big lotto, he's now sitting at over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
1.6 million to be
Oh, he
exact.
is coining it. He is literally coining it. Okay, McG, come through with the coins. And with that, he also has like sub-channels in his main channel. I think he calls it the McG Empire. So he's got popcorn and cheese. I didn't write...
Not the name.
I didn't write the presenters. I'm sorry, guys. I literally forgot. Like, I was like, oh my God, it would have been great to have context.
But when you do click on McG's main channel, you can see the other sub-channels.
Yes. All I know is that there's a guy named Boomy, and he's like a comedian type guy. So it's popcorn and cheese, outside Za, and spreading humors. And I think the spreading humors one had... who's that girl who's always up and down with Ghost Luby?
Sima.
Yes. So she's there. I think I remember because I'm like a visual person, so I saw her face there. So she's also there. And there was a sub channel, but there's others. I wasn't going to list all of them. You guys can go to McG. He's the GOAT of podcasting. Debucho, City Girls with Debucho Tawenjan. I'm shocked that they haven't had like a season 3, because I was a stan. So City Girls with Debucho, I like that because it was a different narrative to what we already have. I mean, we have the Popeye guys with like Amapiano Pulse, we have the Big Up by Meg G. And I felt like we needed a female voice in the podcasting space. And we can't call Mpumile Dwaba because, you know, the Queen is praying to Jesus and doing like the holy stuff. So, I mean, like, we like Bumi, but I mean, we don't want to hear that all the time. So I really thought Tebogo Tabenjana was going to win. Don't you want city girl content?
I do.
And I mean, the girls inspire me to move to Sandton. The girl was like, bitch, you better dream it and live it. I was like, hey, yeah, I'm moving to Sandton because the girlie on City Girl said I could. I was like, then I packed my bags, then I moved to Sandton, and I've been here. And people think it's a joke when they ask me, why did you move to Sandton? I was like, I was watching like City Girls with Debucho, and this girl was like, girl, you better just move, even if it's like close proximity. Because I think they were talking about their struggles, and then the other girl moved to Alex because it was still close proximity to Sandton. Okay. So I was like, well, I've got the point, so I can move to like the big time. So I'm in the big time right now. Thank you to City Girls with Debucho. Meg G, if you ever listen to this episode, please bring back Debucho Tabejane. I love the girl. And then, so the chillers, are you the chillers? You're not the chillers, right?
Never. Hello, no.
Okay. Anyway, so Meg G is one of the biggest podcasters, and as per with anything in life, and as per his start in life, he has always had like a passion for talking out of his neck and having red pill content. And we have seen and witnessed this in the news, obviously, because we're not watching. So I wanted to speak about the three biggest scandals that he's had, controversies, because they all are centered around the same thing: misogyny, homophobia, hateration for the females, never doing research on the content that he does and just talking out his neck. So the first one that I want to bring to the forefront is the Amanda Pont and Jub situation. And I think this happened around 2022 because the guy was getting comfortable. I mean, like millions and millions of people are tuning in. So he had Jub on this episode. I will link up the clip.
Which ladies were you smashing there? Was it Amanda Dupont?
She was one of them.
Nah.
Ooh, you were smashing that.
Yeah, before you went to jail.
Oh,
yeah. How was that relationship like?
I mean, it was good. I fucked up. Because I was stupid. I saw Amanda Dupont. So I was dating Amanda. She was still an after. Yeah. We dated. When we dated, relationship went on for about 3 years.
Oh wow, that's a long time, bro. That's a long time.
And then we stayed together in the south.
You stayed together. Damn, this was serious, bro.
Yeah, so
I thought it was a hit and run.
I fucking said. I thought so too, up until Asia.
And there, they were actually talking about, because you know, Amanda had come forward and said that she was sexually assaulted by Jub. And everybody was like, but he was your boyfriend. Guys, you guys know people get raped in marriages. So I never understand this narrative about people not understanding that people can be raped in relationships. And then he started laughing about that. And it was a funny thing. And then Amanda went on Instagram and then she started crying.
So I'd like to address things that were said about me by Mulema Marahanye, Jub on Mac G's show, as well as Mac G. Okay. So there's three things that I mainly want to address. The first was saying that he smashed me. First of all, Mulema, you raped me. I was raped for 2 years solidly. So please don't make it sound like it was a relationship. I was absolutely afraid to leave. Afraid of the power that your mother had in being around you at the time. You made me believe my life would be a danger if I spoke up. So, no, you didn't smash me. You forcefully opened my legs and forced yourself on me numerous times for 2 years and made me believe I had no way out.
Can you imagine? It's a sore point. People who are victims of sexual assault, that alone is a sore point. And then you coming forward knowing that people like Meg G are always going to judge you anyway because you're the girl that they couldn't get, making fun of the whole situation. So for me, that was, I'm sure there were other ones, but it was one of the big ones because in South Africa, we do have a big rape culture where people are raped every day. And for you to have a big platform and to make a joke, he's always on the private parts of females.
I want to give a big fuck you to Amanda DuPont.
Oh, yeah?
What an absolute disgusting human being.
What happened?
What now?
What happened now?
What happened?
Amanda DuPont.
What happened? What happened?
Oh man, she's so vile, bro. Like I detest her, bro. Like wait, this is a person who went on a live and said that if there are any people who I have sexually assaulted, they must come out.
I remember.
And subsequent to that, yeah, she dragged my name.
I remember.
And no one came out till this day. We lost sponsors. We lost a lot of money because of her. Even till this day, we're feeling the effects of that. Because some people don't watch the podcast and just watch that live and assume that I'm a rapist. You understand what I'm saying?
Take her to the cleaners.
We did, bro. I did.
And what's the verdict?
She had connections, so they shut it down, bro. Let her husband know she's a hoe. You know what I mean? Her husband found out she's a hoe, and then now we are getting smoke.
Anyway, so that was the first one. And Amanda, girl, I hope you're fine wherever you are, and I hope you're not affected by this anymore, and I hope you have like moved on with your life, and I hope Meg G won't make it his everyday mandate to speak about female private parts. And then the second one was that Ari Lennox interview. Can you imagine him embarrassing us on the global streets?
Hello, I shocked myself.
Can we just play the clip? Because what do you mean?
South African podcaster Mac G seemed to have offended Ari after asking her personal questions about her sex life during an online interview.
And where we at right now? Is someone fucking you good right now?
Oh my God. Whoa there. I'm not having, whoa, that's a wild question. Why that way? Why ask it that way? Whoa.
Because that's what you say in the song, you know what I mean? I love that part.
When did I say that? I said it in the song?
Yeah, don't you even remember the song?
I do, but I didn't. Oh, I guess I did say that. I did say that. Okay, all right. Let me, okay, you caught me off guard there, but I did say that. But no, I'm chilling. I'm not messing with anyone.
In her most recent tweets, she reflects on the interview and initiates a broader conversation about the over-sexualization of women and the perpetuation of rape culture. She also claps back at commentators who attempt to correlate Mac G's questioning with the singer's open sexuality in her lyrics. Women in the music industry have been subjected to abuse and harassment for decades.
So how do you invite someone to come to your podcast show and then the first thing you want to talk about is their sex and their body count? Why would you do that? I mean, he made the excuse saying that it's because Ari Lennox talks about sex in her songs.
But no, there's a time and place.
There's a time and place, exactly. And then I don't think like it should be that forceful for you to, when you're interviewing people, you get the sense of what they're comfortable talking about. And really, Guy, just off the gate,
I just feel like McG cares too much about the numbers and pleasing his followers because there's 1.6 million people that love when he does that.
And he gets more views again when he makes women uncomfortable and always gets into their sexual business.
He's saying what all of these men that think like him want to say.
Okay, yeah, that's why we're not listening and never will be the subscribers.
Exactly.
And then the Dlamini situation. How many times? How many times? Like, I'll just roll the clip and then we'll get into it.
Oh, my thing is, Minnie's pretty, bro.
Minnie's beautiful.
Why can't she keep a man?
No, I think I'm suspecting this guy. I don't know what the other guys, but with this guy, I feel like maybe he had a fantasy. Because Minnie was like the hot girl. Remember, there was a period where she was the girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe that's when the doctor was still coming up, still doing x-rays there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a friend who wants that experience. After this guy, it's me. Keep lying.
Out of line, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, there's gotta be something wrong with her. Like maybe a coochie smells or something, bro.
No.
Yeah.
You know this happens, dog. It happens, bro.
No.
Especially with the hot girls.
How would you feel if someone is like, no, on a public platform at that, talks about your situation and he's never even seen it, he's never even smelled it? How would you feel? And at that, you are a mother, you have a son that you're raising, and the son is probably of age that now the children are on the internet and they can come back to school and be like, yeah, no, McG is talking about your mom's vagina. And this is a married man. How do you think his wife feels?
Oh my God. The queen is a yes man as much as she's a woman. Because why is she still with that man?
You know what? I'll play this clip because Wendy actually summed it up for us around men that are like McG.
You never say anything bad about men. You're always talking bad about women. Never anything bad about men. Well, he likes men.
Son of the queen.
You know that Wendy is a straight shooter, pop. She's never gonna not say, because really, how come you never have anything negative to say about the men? Always the women. I didn't even search McG controversies on females. I was like, McG's controversies, period. And nothing about men came up, like nothing at all. So I don't know, maybe he's an after nine. And again, like I always feel like McG is very misogynistic because the information I did find out when I was researching his personal life is the fact that the woman he is now allegedly married to, I think her name is Naledi or something. She actually said no 3 times to him. 3 times she said no. And then when he decided to have that, you remember they were celebrating 100 years. No, they were celebrating 1 million subscribers in Sun City. And then he decided to make the proposal public, putting the girl in everybody's faces so she can't say no. Because she's been saying no privately. Like, no, I don't want to marry you. And the last thing I will say about McG, apart from the fact that he's the GOAT of podcasting, he reminds me, his aura is that of guys who never got like the females that they wanted. The fact that he's always going after the pretty chicks, the beautiful chicks, always in their personal, private part business, is like, he's the guy who was never chosen. Like, would you, like, let me say T, if McG was the only guy in the world and it's either you choose to be his partner or be single, which one would you choose?
To be single.
Me too. Me too. Anyway, McG, we know niggas like you and we don't like them in real life, but we will always support the propaganda that you've pushed and pushed the culture forward for podcasting in South Africa, because everybody is talking about us. And it's such a shame that they only see us from your lens. And before we move out of his situation, his contract with DSTV was allegedly not renewed. And this was happening around the time with the Minnie situation.
That guy was crashing out.
Was he crashing out? Because I saw he was being pompous with his Mercedes car. And I was like, exactly. He probably was crashing out and was like, let me drive in the streets and show people that I still got coins.
He still even spoke about it on the podcast itself and was saying, oh, we started this thing ourselves. We don't need DSTV. Then you know he was crashing out, huh?
Oh, he was crashing out. And I hope he's paying his podcasters that are working so hard to build his empire. And again, I'm glad DSTV canceled his show. By the way, DSTV, we are available if you guys are looking for a replacement, darling. Call me. Me and Tia gonna be there setting up that on fire.
Exactly.
And according to him, DSTV cancelling him is not the consequence of his controversial comments forever and the new ones around Minnie. But anyway, talking about consequences, the second guy we're going to talk about is this Thakgi. Is it Thakgi? Thakgi. He does Piano Pulse. And oh my God, the ugly guys that no one chooses are always in the female's business. Because when I was doing this, I was like, oh, it's the same cut and paste from what I was saying about Mick G. Anyway, the guy allegedly, I'll add the clip. So on the clip, he's actually talking about how Sizwe Alkaline, you know, Reason, he was a rapper before he became Sizwe. He's now dating Gigi Lamaine. And before he dated Gigi Lamaine, he was dating Lut Love. You do know Lut Love. She's on Metro FM right now. So they broke up with Lut Love, first of all, in 2020, long time ago. Like, that's another lifetime. But apparently, Sizwe didn't have another public profile relationship. And then he had the relationship with Gigi Lamaine, which was public again. And then this guy had the decency to say that Sizwe downgraded.
With this girl, with Gigi Lamaine. Who did he downgrade from?
Gigi Lamaine.
What? Oh, Lut Love. What?
So he downgraded
From Lut Love.
Bro, what are you talking about? Like, come on, what are you talking about?
Don't do it.
No, but reason is not friends of Amapiano. Reason is Amapiano. Alkaline is
So we have
Amapiano.
the right to talk about him.
Of course.
Yeah, so do you think he downgraded?
From Lut Love to Gigi Lamaine.
Say the name.
In terms of in terms of standard, nah?
I just can't see them.
I feel like it's dropped a bit because Lut Love is a bit, bro.
A bit.
I mean, Gigi's also got a personality of her own,
Wait,
bro.
it dropped a bit.
Yeah, a bit. I want to say fully. I mean, Lut Love is just a powerhouse, bro. She's a super mom. She's a super woman. She's that person in the industry, you know? She's that somebody she's not a pushover. Not that I'm saying Gigi's a pushover, but
I feel like it's a big difference.
Yo, bro.
Massive difference.
Not a massive, but I mean, in this industry, but
bro, and also I love Reason, bro.
First of all, why are you out here commenting on other people's relationships? I thought the show was called Amapiano Pulse. What does that have to do with anything? Number one. And number two, which is the clip I'm going to add again, is Sizwe actually confronting the guy, asking him, what do you mean he's downgraded? Like, how do you measure a downgrade when it comes to females? How do you measure? Downgraded how? Because Gigi is a pretty chick, according to me. Isn't Gigi one of your favorite rappers too?
Hello, she's talented.
Hello, Queen is pretty. Queen is talented. The Queen has multiple businesses that she does
And
for
a
herself.
label.
And a label. And she's working hard. She's got a new relationship with a man that she loves. And you out here saying that the girl is a downgrade to Lut Love. And according to what Matrix? And that's what Sizwe is asking in the next clip.
it was in comparison. We were comparing, who are we comparing? Your ex, I'd like to think, which is Lut Love, and your current girlfriend, right?
Why?
No, wait. We were just comparing households.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Okay, so how did you quantify that my current girlfriend is a downgrade from my ex?
No. We didn't necessarily say downgrade. We was like more
My nigga, you said, don't you think this guy said to you, is Sizwe piano? You said, yes, Sizwe's piano.
Definitely. Okay.
Then he said, can I talk about this? Don't you think he downgraded? Then you said, downgraded by doing what? You said, who is he dating now? They said, Gigi Lamaine. Then you said, downgraded from what? And you said, Lut Love. And then it was a joke. That's what I'm here to discuss. What was the basis of that comment? How do you quantify that? Or what gives you the right to sit here on a public platform and decide that? Is it their bank balances? Is it their cars? Is it beauty? What is it? If you were to say the same words again, under what roof or under what basis would you be basing that on? Let me give you a chance to think about it. Right now, on what level would you say that Gigi is a downgrade from Lutando? Right now, since it's something that's recorded and it's out right now, where did that come from?
And for him, he did get immediate consequences, obviously, because Sizwe went and crashed out and asked the same questions we were asking. On what basis? Again, we're now comparing the women. According to me, Lutlav is the same. The queen is very, very beautiful, very talented, is a great mother to her 2 children. Are they still called Hip and Hop? I don't even know the children's names, but the last time I checked, they were called Hip and Hop. And I mean, the relationship ended with reason. The queen is doing well on Metro FM. So on what basis? Again, people, I always feel like these fly-by-night folks on the internet always have a lot to say, because what else are they going to say that's of value or of education or of something worthy for people to listen to, other than them creating like shock factors that we really don't care about? Because at the end of the day, it's about the content that you're creating. If you create good content, you don't need to put others down. And shout out to Sizwe for doing that. Anyway, so I don't know what happened with the case with McG. I don't know if Minnie went ahead with the suing and going to the courts. And this Thakgi guy only got his immediate karma with reason going there. But I feel like everybody should be taking notes from our queen, our favorite queen, Bona. She's the only celebrity we have in the country.
She is.
We love the queen down to the ground, by the way. So this is Rea Gopane. I don't know what his channel is called. I did try to Google. I couldn't find anything when I was typing this anyway. And I couldn't actually find the clip of him actually saying this. So this is based on the information that was on the gossip sites. I'm going to link it for you here.
Scoop told us that AKA is on coke and Bonang is the one that got him into cocaine. Scoop told us that, bro.
So this happened 4 years ago when this Rea Gopane guy got on Bonang's internet and said that allegedly, because we don't want to be sued by the queen, he said that Bonang introduced AKA to cocaine and hardcore drugs. An old man being introduced by his girlfriend to drugs. And he said he got this information from Scoop Marketing. Ungenapi, first and foremost. And secondly, what constitutes you to give this information to the masses? And
how is it helping anyone?
Come on. And I'll add this clip from Zanzi A-listers because I couldn't find the actual tweets from X where it tells the whole story.
On a new and interesting story here, Bonang just posted that she has won a lawsuit against podcaster Rea. A lot of you guys might know that she was suing him for about $500,000 after he said that Bonang was on drugs and that Scoop Makatini told him. It kind of seems like Scoop bailed on him and he couldn't prove that yes, Bonang is on drugs. And so she got awarded 300,000 rands worth of damages. And so for me, I'm just kind of glad that Bonang won because initially this guy apologized in a video and Bonang kinda was fine with it because she commented with laugh emojis after he apologized. But then he came back on a tweet saying that it's known, hashtag a classic or something along those lines. And that sort of reignited this whole lawsuit. And then even after Bonang sort of wished him good luck in the proceedings, he came back to say that the incomparable Bongani Matheba is still mad that she took a shot and missed last year. Thanks mom, I don't need your good luck. See you soon mom. So he's kind of being arrogant, and so I kind of feel like there needs to be a point where the course kind of teaches these guys a lesson, man. Because even now, today, he came back to say that I don't have time for delusional women. Back to work.
And then the queen was like, you know what, you better watch your mouth. And you know the queen has always got the lawyers on lock and is always ready to sue. So Bonang, the queen that she is, she kept quiet, went into the courts and sued this guy, and she actually won the case. And this guy was ordered to pay Bonang 300,000 rands. And I did check currently right now. So the guy is still paying Bonang because this article is from 2023. And it says that he has been ordered by the courts to pay Bonang because he can't afford the money. And the queen's sitting on millions. So he has to pay the queen just because he couldn't keep his mouth quiet or have these conversations with his other dumb friends. So these are the consequences we're talking about. And these are the consequences that are needed. If it's not going to be done by BCCSA, it has to be done by the people who are being offended. Minnie, if you're watching this, please sit on MacG's neck and make sure you get your lick back. Because this is not a joke. It's not a joke. It's got everyday consequences. And Bonang was like, you know what? I'm not going to take this lying down. And in that breath, these people who have a lot of negative things to say about people and who are always trying to defame people's characters and cause them distress in real life should actually be held to court for their thing. And again, my stance is we need a BCCSA for podcasters because they're literally just running their mouths for no reason at all. And these things have like everyday consequences. Bonang could have lost brand deals. Minnie could have lost clout and brand deals and work. It's personal. It affects you on a personal level. As much as you say it on the internet, people have everyday consequences. And talking about consequences, you remember the guy the Rea guy with the Bonang case, he said he got the information from Scoop Makatini.
Mm-hmm.
So Scoop Makatini was actually on Relebohile Maboja's podcast, and he was talking about his life. And he didn't speak about this instant. He actually distanced himself from the conversation entirely around the Bonang situation. But what he did speak about the fact that social media, and I mean podcasts are on a social platform, actually have real everyday consequences. I will link what am I even saying? I will link the clip where he's talking about this.
That's the thing. Like, all of those tweets happened on my birthday, and I didn't send those things. Do you understand? So that was when I was like, and also at a time where you never know how really big you are in entertainment until there's a bad story about you.
Yeah. Did it blow up at the time?
What do you mean? I lost money, I lost dignity, I lost perception, I lost all these things.
Reputation.
Which was good.
So how did that make you lose money?
Because the brands and the jobs are like, no matter, we can't hire you because even if I didn't beat a woman, I didn't do anything, but your name and the noise around it is not positive. It's not even, I mean, think about it. If you owned a company, you'd be very wary about who you align yourself to. You know what I mean?
And it is true. So basically, Scoop, he is saying that this is not him. So his social media account, he was dating this girl. And I remember, because at the time I was still on social media, honey, heavy. So he got hurt by this girl, allegedly. And on his birthday, his account, in the same tonality that he usually tweets with the uppercase, because I remember Scoop was known for the uppercase tweeting, loud, obnoxious. The account actually tweeted about this girl and the relationship from a sour perspective and point of view. And I can't remember if he was saying derogatory things about this female that broke his heart. I couldn't find the tweets anymore. And if I do, I'll link them up. And he's still saying that was not him. He was hacked or whatever situation. That had everyday consequences. He lost jobs. He lost brand deals. He lost his reputation in the industry because prior to him crashing out, prior to his account crashing out, and he's saying it's not him. So I'll say prior to the crash out from his account about this female he was dating, he was actually just a quiet guy doing his job, successful broadcaster. And so that happened to him, and he lost a lot of the brand deals he had. He lost a lot of clout from the industry, and people were not on his side. And this actually cost him financially to a point he has never returned back to Twitter. So do you see what we mean about social media, podcasting having everyday consequences? How would you feel if Minnie all of a sudden decides to throw herself on the bridge because she can't take it anymore.
Because also so many people do believe MacG.
That's why he's got 1.6 subscribers, because it's
like
people.
other 1.6 MacGs.
Exactly. And these people actually believe what the guy is saying on his podcast. And we have seen on today's episode that these things actually affect people in real life. They have consequences. Again, our conversation today was around whether or not podcasts need to be regulated. And the answer is yes. Yes, yes, and yes again. And I'm saying this because it's long format content. So yeah, I do believe we need to have our own BCCSA, our regulatory body that makes sure that there's consequences to people talking and defaming other people in their podcast for views, for clout, for trending, and for all of these things. T, is there anything else that you want to say? Because I'm done.
I think you said it all. I mean, YouTube it is a little bit regulated, but it only relies on the community guidelines, which can be hard to pick up. It relies on...
Now, YouTube doesn't care about the actual content that's being said, as long as you don't say the R word, the PDF word, the corn word. That's what they care about. Otherwise, they don't care about the actual content and what's being said. If you can bypass the words, you're good to go.
And if you do look at the words that you get flagged by,
are words that need to be said in public.
Yes, number one. But number two are words that are protecting who?
The PDFs themselves, and the misogyny and the patriarchy. Clock that T.
Yes. So if no pun intended.
Exactly.
So I feel like if they're now gonna be doing the BCCSA thing, can they at least have certain words flagged as well that are very much affecting the marginalized communities, like the women, the LGBTQI community, like etc.
I'm sorry, but I couldn't find women who were in hot waters because they were podcasters and said something that was offensive to men or offensive to women. Really, it's the men that always have something to say. So with that said, we have no more information to give to the masses. Do give your opinion in the comments as to what do you think, what do you believe. I've said my piece, and thank you. Do comment, do subscribe, and do tell your friends. No further information for the masses.